exactly as they were put, if that makes any sense. Um, I'm sorry I'm not going to get round to them all. I know that if I do, it'll be such a stupidly long video, and I don't think anyone will really enjoy it that much. So yeah, I have like a lot of different types of questions. I've not really put them into categories, like I've written them down. So I think that the first question is that I'm gonna answer is my MBTI type. The Myers, I think it's Myers-Briggs test. I'm INFP. I think it used to be called the Meditator, but now, or the Nurturer or something, but now I'm not sure. But that's the last time I did the test was like a few months ago, and that's what I got as my results for that. And then the next question is my favourite ASMR artist. Now, I don't watch ASMR as much as I used to be honest. I definitely always listen to it to get to sleep, and my go-to with that is Whispers Red. I'm trying to think of ASMR artists I absolutely adore. So Latte, I think she's a favourite of a lot of people. Gentle Whispering, Lily Whispers, I think that's her name. I hope that's her name. There are loads of people who I've enjoyed throughout, like watching ASMR and stuff. But as I say, I don't watch it as much anymore. So, like currently, the people who are like my go-tos to go to sleep to are them. So, what's your favorite type of ASMR? So, I would say that my favorite like type are like role plays and stuff. So I really enjoy personal attention role plays. So like basically I just love personal attention, like hand movements as well, and like face touching and face brushing and stuff like that. I think that kind of reflects real life because when I experience ASMR in real life, it's usually when someone's like brushing my hair or like scratching my head, or they're like giving me like personal attention, I guess. So favorite movies. My favorite movies are Grand Budapest Hotel, Isle of Dogs, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Like I'm trying to think of what's his name? The director, Wes Anderson. I really like his films. I love Ponyo, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, Coraline, Her. I think that's like off the top of my head. Those are like my all-time favorite films. I'm sorry that I look really white. The background is really dark today, so I look super pale. What do you do for self-care? Personally, like on a daily basis, my self-care is like having a shower, doing like very basic things like having a shower and like taking my time to do skincare and stuff like that. I don't really have like a day of the week where I like do a face mask or anything like that, like physical self-care or anything. I just try on a daily basis to do things that I know will make me feel like better. So, so I'm going to answer a couple of questions now that I feel like were really good questions actually, like very interesting. Obviously I liked all the questions, I'm still going to answer them, but I feel like these were particularly interesting. So somebody said, you seem happier after deleting social media. Have you found it helpful? Yes. Now, for me, I deleted Facebook years ago. Like as soon as I left high school, Facebook was gone. So that's never really been an issue for me. But I've had Instagram since I was like 13, and Twitter probably around the same age. I use them on a daily basis. I use them to talk to friends. I use them to look ASMR accounts was too much stress for me. I mean, at the beginning of this year, when I was most active on the Twitter side of the ASMR thing, I was not in a good place. I was, spiraling basically, and it wasn't helpful for me to be on there. This links with another question about how does it feel to have a large following. I don't have a large following, but obviously more than the regular, everyday person who doesn't post YouTube videos. Personally, it just was not good, because I used to, when I was doing really bad, a couple of years ago, I would use Twitter as a diary. So I would vent out things that were wrong and use stupid reaction pictures to make it funny, I guess. And it's sort of a way that I used to cope with how I was feeling and things going on in my life. So deleting Twitter for my ASMR channel was a very, very good thing for me. I mean, at the time, I was starting to feel, at the time where I sort of deleted those social medias, I was starting to feel a lot better myself. I was starting to be a bit more social in the outside world. So for me, I still go on my normal personal Twitter, which I just like to retweet stupid stuff on. But the Instagram side, I just found it very stressful. I do find social media stressful in general. I feel like there's personally, I don't feel the pressure to have I've never photoshopped my pictures or done anything like that. I've never been under so much pressure to do that. I just didn't post pictures when I was unhappy with myself. But I didn't used to taking pictures of myself was very rare. So I felt like people followed me on it for pictures of me, and I felt bad that I posted once every few months. I also felt bad that people would send me messages, and I am a really, really bad replier. It usually takes me a good 3 to 5 business days to get back to people who aren't just friends. So for me, getting rid of that in my life, it just felt like a little weight off my shoulders. And being able to just focus on my personal account and having everything in one place was just quite helpful for me. But yes, it has been incredibly helpful. I would recommend, I know that a lot of people struggle with self-esteem issues due to what they see on social media. I've recommended accounts in the past that people can follow that show that what a lot of influencers, celebrities post is not real, and you need to understand that if you're on social media. You cannot be comparing yourself to a celebrity who has the ability to go to a dermatologist whenever they want, i.e. Kendall Jenner saying she's proactive or whatever it's called for her skin. Just be very wary that even people I've now started to notice that people I follow who I know in real life mess around with their pictures. They're making their bum bigger or making the waist slimmer, and for me, it hurts my heart, it hurts my spirit, because it's not for you. I post pictures for me because I'm oh, I think I looked okay in that. But at that point, you are doing it for the approval, solely the approval of others, and it's not realistic. Anyway, basically, yes, I feel a lot better since doing that. I mean, there's plenty of other things that have influenced my mental health and such since then, but yeah. So another question was about my appearance. I think I definitely mentioned that I'm not particularly the most confident person on the planet about my appearance and many things, but someone said, have you ever let your appearance stop 6 to about 10, and I was really good at swimming. I was just really good, okay? And I can look back now and say I was really good. Unfortunately, there were people who, when I say people, I mean one particular girl, who made me feel rubbish, not just about my appearance, but also swimming in general. I remember there was a competition in primary school in year 6, and she said, well, you're not going to enter, are you? You're not good enough. So I didn't enter, and that lesson I sat at the side of the pool and felt sorry for myself. And I regret so badly letting things that people said in the past control the way I see myself and what I do. I stopped doing swimming after primary school because I hated the fact that I was so skinny. Like, I am a very skinny person. I'm trying very hard to put on weight, but it's my metabolism, it's my appetite. There are a lot of things that I've tried to do in the past and I'm trying to do now to change that. But I stopped swimming because I hated my body, and I have not been swimming in years because I don't particularly love my body. Not necessarily to do with my face or anything like that, but appearance-wise, obviously, I let that get the better of me, and I still do. I think at this point I probably could go swimming, but I would need to build up a bit of confidence before doing that. Then, are you convinced? Okay, I wrote a vague idea of this question, but it was like about people commenting about my appearance and stuff. And are you convinced you're beautiful now that people say it? No. I really think I wanted to answer this question because I felt like it was a good sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but in high school I felt very ugly, and I think it was, as sad as this sounds, it was from a lack of attention from like romantic attention. Like, all my friends had boyfriends and I didn't. And looking back now, it was really like stupid, because like it was just very stupid of me to base my self-esteem and my self-worth off of the attention of boys, let's say. I mean, like, at the time I didn't really, the thing is, at the time I didn't want a boyfriend, I didn't want a relationship, but I saw everyone around me had that, and it was like a little part of me was just like sad. Now I do get attention, and I get attention online, obviously, from my channel, and people do say lovely things about my appearance, which I appreciate. But no, it has not necessarily changed my view of myself and how I look. I think the issues now are within myself. I pick apart like the way I look in the mirror every day, not as badly as I used to. I'm honestly, as silly as it sounds, like, I'm not happy with the way I look, but I've come to terms with it. There's definitely times where I look in the mirror and like I can point out, oh, I love this side of my face, but I hate this side of my face, and if I was to get plastic surgery I would fix this and this and this. I would never ever get plastic surgery now. I do not want to change myself for the people. I have had, obviously I do get lovely comments of you guys, and it means a lot. I've also had very nasty comments. I get comments about my bunny teeth, which someone said in year 2 that I had bunny teeth, and it's stuck with me since. I really don't care anymore at all. I like my bunny teeth. I'm lucky enough to have relatively straight teeth naturally, and yes, I do have big teeth, but sorry, it's, that's me. And if you can't deal with that, then I think what I've realised over the past year and a half, let's say, since starting my channel, is I obviously in high school, like, people are nasty and mean, and that's when I got some comments, and primary school. Since then, most people have matured, and people who aren't behind a screen don't tell me horrible things about myself that they don't particularly find appealing. What I've come to terms with, and I think what everyone has to sort of realise, is nobody person's appearance. I, who am not entirely happy with myself, but I'm also not deeply, like, upset about the way I look. I don't make nasty comments about people's appearance now, because what need is there for it? I'm not helping anyone. Like, the only people who do that, the only reason people do that is because they hate themselves, and by pointing out something negative about someone else, it makes them feel better about themselves. Like, oh well, I hate this and this about myself, but if I say something nasty about someone who's confident in themselves, then they also have things wrong with them, and it's silly. I've kind of gone off on a tangent there, but no, I could get 100 comments saying I'm beautiful, and I don't believe it. It doesn't register with me whatsoever. It's just another passing comment. It's nice to get those comments. It's very kind of you all, but it really does not. It's not convinced me otherwise. Which is why, if say you're in the same position that I was in high school, say you're a girl or a guy who's like not getting attention off anyone, or you feel like ugly because of how you're not receiving attention of other people. Basically, it doesn't matter how much attention you get, it will not change how you feel. You need to change the way you feel about yourself. It's not, getting the attention of someone you like will not automatically solve all your problems, ever. So yeah, and then some people become immune to like the compliments. How do you feel about this? Yeah, I would say at this point, on my videos do get comments about the way I look. It doesn't really resonate with me anymore. It doesn't affect me in any way. It doesn't really do much for me, basically. Again, as I say, I love and appreciate the comments so much, and they occasionally do help me when I feel a bit low about myself, but not as much as you'd think. There was another comment about, are you happy with life right now? Yes, I am incredibly happy right now. Like, I feel like this is another sort of important question. I know that like a lot of you have followed me for a long time know that I was so deeply depressed and not well, really, for a long time. Like, for 3 whole years I was like severely depressed, and since like June, my whole life has literally turned around. I am so happy and grateful to be alive. Like, not to like get too emotional, but at the beginning of this year, I did not think I would make it to the end of this year at all. I mean, we're still not at the end of the year, but I could not stand the thought of living another year. I couldn't. I hated life. I hated like everything. Nothing brought me joy at all, and I was so sad. I was so sad, and I isolated myself, and I overthought, and I made myself feel worse. But I am so happy now. I am the happiest I have been in years, and I really I never thought that that could be me. I did not think I would ever be happy, ever in my life. I could not imagine living like a normal life where I'm not constantly suicidal or depressed, or I do still have bad days. Definitely 100% have bad days at times, but that's normal. But now I'm so content and happy with life, and more social than I've ever been, and it makes me so happy that like friends that I sort of cut off when I was depressed came back to me and made me realise that, true good friends will not just like ditch you because you're depressed, or anything like that. I know that like a lot of people who watch my channel are going through depressed for 3 years, like so deeply unhappy within myself and everything about my life, can flip my life literally around. You can do. Like, I mean, it could very easily go the other way around again, but I hope that it never does. But if it does, I know that now I can be happy again, and it is possible to be happy, like, and live like a normal life, even if you are still suffering with, like, anxiety, depression, whatnot. Okay, so, did I water my plants today? No, because they don't need watering every day. I actually got an app which tells me when to water each particular plant. I think it's called Planter or something. Because I usually just water them whenever. But now I know exactly when to do it. Good place for a date. Personally, I think for a first date you should do like an activity together. Like mini golf is one that I've been on that I really enjoyed. It sounds weird, but for me, on a first date, I wouldn't want to like watch films or something like that, like go to cinema. I feel like because you don't get a chance to talk and it's just kind of awkward. So good place for a date, go to mini golf, go on a drive, go on a walk, go on. Only if you're very comfortable with that person at this point. I'm not sure what else. I'm trying to think. Yeah, basically do like an activity. Food you crave the most. Really depends. I would say I've actually turned around and I really love savoury food now. Like I used to be such a sucker for desserts, but now I love savoury food. And I would say right now what I'm craving is, I think it's like a sweet potato risotto. Like I've been craving it for weeks. I really want it, but I don't know otherwise. Do you drive? Absolutely not. I'm a big baby. And I have been in friends' cars and like driven around car parks and stuff. But I do want to learn so that when I do eventually decide that I'm gonna drive, my insurance won't be as expensive. But no, I don't. Do you like horror movies? Well, the answer is no, but I'm trying to start to like them. I mentioned in my live stream last week that I have been watching. I watched The Shining. I watched, which I really loved. I really enjoyed that film. I know it's not particularly like scary, but I really enjoyed it. Then I watched some old horror films that are like really bad but quite funny. And I'm going to be watching some this weekend with a friend, so like I'm trying to get over my fear because I would like to enjoy them. What quality in people do you aspire to have? Honestly, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I would say confidence, but I feel like I'm relatively confident now. My like self-esteem and confidence has improved dramatically. Around new people, I don't like struggle as much now. But a quality, I don't know, honestly. I'm like trying to make myself a better person every day, but I can't think of a particular quality that I would love to have. Oh, maybe if I was a bit more, slightly more, not adventurous, but like if I could have the confidence to ask people to do stuff. When I do stuff like with friends, my friends are always asking me to do stuff, or like when people ask me to do stuff. I know it's not like a huge quality, but I am the last person to ever start a conversation or make plans or anything. Like, I just let my friends do that and I feel bad about it, but it's just like a quality that I have that I hate, and I wish I could like change it, but I struggle with it. Do you like when people create fan art for you? Yes, I really liked the was done for me by the person who asked this question, but I enjoy every time someone tags me in a picture of a drawing of me. Like, my heart like flutters. I get so happy because it's so sweet that someone, you know, decided to do that. Like, they decided to focus on you as a subject. I think it's so sweet. Do you love coffee? Yes, I have coffee every single day, but I don't like it strong. I love iced coffee, and I also love coffee Renoir cake. I know that's not the same, but do you like cats or dogs better? Cats. I do love dogs. I am definitely, like, I really love dogs, but I like cats because they're not like in constant need of attention. And I'm not a very like cuddly, like, I don't want to say cuddly person. I'm happy with like having my personal space. So like cats getting on with their own thing is like really great, in my opinion. Your fave historical aesthetic. So like if I was to go back in time, I would love to go to Tudor times so badly. Like, it's always been my favourite point in history since like year 3. We made like these papier-mâché heads, you know, like of Henry VIII's wives. It sounds so messed up, but like ever since that, like, we did like a subject on the Tudors, I love the clothing. I love like the architecture they had. I love everything about it apart from like people not having rights and things like that. If you had to have tea with someone real or fictional, who would it be? Ooh, I would say Grimes. I'd love to talk to Grimes. Fave thing to do to take your mind off the day. Personally for me, like if I've had a rough day, I will have a shower. Like, make sure my bedding's like nice and clean and ready to get into, get changed into comfy clothes, do my skincare, and sit in bed and watch like films or TV shows or YouTube, or like scroll through Reddit or something like that. I feel like that helps me feel a bit better, and talking to friends like about your day can often like help you feel a bit better, like venting. Hogwarts houses, Ravenclaw. As the growth in channel help with my self-esteem? Mildly, yes. I would say I feel slightly more confident now because of my channel. Also to do with things I've done outside my channel, but my channel has sort of helped. If you could be a mythical creature, what would it be? Like, I would want to be a witch, or like a vampire. Like, I hate to say that. Not a vampire actually. Yeah, a witch. Like, I know you're probably asking for like some like animal, but I can't think of one I would be. Reasons for starting my channel. I was lay in bed, depressed, and I hadn't done anything worthwhile in a while, and I was watching ASMR to like take my mind off things, and I suddenly just thought I could do this, and it was the first time I felt inspired in weeks and weeks and weeks. So I decided to just film a video and upload it and see what happens. So I created my little thing that I've shown in the past, like my little cardboard thing for my phone, and I made a video and it's still up. It was a tapping on boxes video. Fave TV show. The most recent TV show I watched, which I loved, was Chernobyl. I can't say it, and I apologise for that. I thought it was fantastic. Like, I binge watched it like 2 days of like binge watching, and I was done with it, and I was like, whoa, that was a good TV show. I don't really watch that many TV shows now, to be honest. Like, Game of Thrones was a good one until it got destroyed, as we talked about on the live stream. Apart from that, I'm not really sure. Where am I from? The UK. I using your accent to do a Arctic Monkeys lyrics video because I don't know. Are you at uni? Nope. I felt like such a failure for not going to uni for so long up until a few months ago. Most people who are like in my year at like college, high school and stuff, most of my friends went to uni like as soon as college had finished, so they'll be in their last year now and they'll be graduating soon. So no, I did not go because I didn't want to waste my money on a course which may not even help me find a job. I don't know what I want to do with my life, so I find it a little pointless. If you get what I mean. A lot of people go for the experience, but I know I would have regretted going because I was so depressed at the time. I wouldn't have made the most of the social aspect, and luckily for me, I have friends who are at uni, so I get to go to theirs for a few days and like experience like the uni life without the massive amounts of debt and going to actually go to uni. And is it cool or strange to have a following? That's the last question I'm going to answer because this is nearly 40 minutes. At first, very strange. I feel like I gained a lot of subscribers in a short amount of time, and then it just like went a bit like stagnant. So I've never really, as silly as it sounds, it's never really hit me that I don't even know how many I have. Do I have 46,000 subscribers now? You would have to tell me because I don't keep track of it anymore. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't make me think I'm better than anyone else. Because quite frankly, it's not hit me yet that I think over 40,000 people follow me. It's definitely interesting seeing the different types of people commenting and stuff like that. But it's not really something that really affects me in any way. I guess it's kind of cool. Not many people can say they have that many people following them on YouTube or a platform. I just find it quite it doesn't really affect me basically. So yeah, I'm sorry that I've not answered all your questions, but I didn't want this video to be an hour long because I know it would be. Thank you everyone for joining in on the live stream last week when I didn't post. I appreciate you all so much. And I'm glad to see that a lot of you have the same sense of humour as me. That's quite nice. And yeah, sorry, I guess this video isn't particularly relaxing because I'm talking very fast because my mind is like racing with all the questions. But I hope you still enjoyed the video. I hope that you all have a really good day because you deserve it. And yeah, I think that's about it. Really quickly, completely forgot, there was a question about my nails, and I get a lot of comments about my nails. To grow them out for me, what was helpful for me was painting them. I started like growing and painting them, I would say like last year in June or so. June or around that time. And for me, painting them was like a really good thing because it meant I didn't really have a problem with biting my nails at all. That's not been me in a very long time. But I would often like mess with them and stuff. So what was helpful for me? Putting nail varnish on. Don't get them very wet because like obviously you need to go for showers and stuff, but if you're washing up, put gloves on. It can damage like the nail and make them quite, weak and soft and stuff. Don't use any nail like hardening stuff. It will make your nails brittle and they will snap. I used some last year in November time. My nails were super long and I put my hand up against a door. I wasn't wearing nail varnish. Put my hand up on a door like this to open it. snapped clean off right here. So don't use anything like that because it will just make your nails like brittle and hard and they will snap rather than like break a bit. If you find a little split in your nail, put a bit of nail glue on, file it down so it looks like smooth, and carry on with your business, and hopefully it won't get any further. If you have a problem with biting your nails, try and sort that out. I know it can be caused by like anxiety and stuff like that. What I would do instead of biting is I would like push the nail beds back, which you know is actually not a bad thing, but try and find a different distraction. And the nail varnish I use is Revlon Valentine 730. I've been using this for way over a year now. Like, this is the colour I've used ever since I started growing my nails and what I've had on my channel. Obviously, last week's live stream, I filmed that yesterday. I only got a chance to do one layer, so they're a lot lighter today. What I do when I paint my nails is I use a base coat, which is Revlon again. I put one layer of this on, let it dry, put a layer of this on. You can go straight over with this is a base and top coat. You can either go over with that, which is what I do when I'm lazy, or do another coat of nail varnish and, then do a coat again of the base coat. I find that wearing nail varnish actually makes my nails a lot more durable. Like, they are less likely to snap or break, like they'll just bend a bit. But yeah, I would personally recommend nail varnish. It does dye your nails, which is the only problem. Like, when I take my nail varnish off, I have slightly yellow nails, which looks like I've been smoking. If you have a problem with that because you're not going to wear nail varnish very often, or you're not going to upkeep it, then maybe don't wear nail varnish as much. But obviously I've been wearing nail varnish for way over a year now, so it's going to happen. I have done mine in like an almondy type shape. I like the shape. I get a lot of people asking me, like, when I meet new people, they're like, oh, I really like your nails, like, and I'll say that they're real, and they don't believe me, and they try to like bend them back or break them, like not actually try and break them, but they'll try and see because they don't believe me. So, like, if you're on a budget or you just don't have the time to go to a nail salon, but you want nice nails, growing them out is such a good idea, because I think this is like £7, and this is also the same. They last me like at least a few months, like a good, like, I think in my whole time of painting my nails I've bought like 4, so it's so much cheaper than going and getting them done, which can be anywhere between like £10 to like £60. So yeah, that is what I do. That is how I grew my nails out. So yeah, sorry to just like